Paul Atkins, who's like the new commissioner for SEC appointed by Donald J. Trump, came into power in April. They put out like this tweet, and it was funny because they put that purple thread emoji when they did that thread. I just find it hilarious when companies, I remember Gary Gensler doing that as well. But they essentially went down this like deep discussion about like DeFi as a whole. I would argue that this is like one of the most amazing news that came out in like the last couple of weeks, because they mention a lot of specific things. If you guys remember that famous video of Gary Gensler being questioned about asking, is Ethereum a security? What counts as a security? This and that. Like, he wouldn't be able to define bits and pieces. And I think what's come to light is there's a lot of clarity internally what certain things are. And they mention a couple of things. So he says, and I quote, DeFi embodies the American spirit, economic liberty, property rights, and open innovation. So they speak about essentially like mining, validating, staking as a service, as not being considered a security, that none of these transactions come under that. This is probably like the first time we've had like such a deep clarity on what this entire ecosystem is. For people who don't know, like Paul Atkins has been like very advocative towards innovation when it comes to like financial tech. He was very under removing the burden of regulation when he was the chairman during John President Bush's period as well. He was also part of this ecosystem called Digital Chambers Token Alliance, which apparently is a advocacy group to help other blockchain ecosystems to get regulatory understanding or whatever. So he's been very pro DeFi and pro, like, like us moving in like a better innovative environment. He also mentioned that publishing like code and wallet software shouldn't be considered security. So he was defending a lot of like self custody and open source development, which I think is pretty amazing because it goes down again the ethos of what crypto means like. And he did mention that we shouldn't be like forming rules around like certain regulation that was written in like the 1930s with centralized finance to basically control what like this new age of like digital finance is supposed to be. So yeah, I think like they went down like a deep rabbit hole about discussing what this means for the future of crypto in the US. He mentioned that he's already pushed his staff to basically set up ground rules and laws that they can send out, where people can place them for like DeFi rails in their companies, in their firms, understand and enable like on-chain issuance, settlement, and clearing, and build like a proper path where people have an understanding of what self-custody is going to look like and what are the rules and regulations that they need to be aware of. So there's a lot more regulatory clarity when it comes to DeFi.